This news here is major. Capital letters, major. Listen to this.
Did it, and then they're scared, and they've admitted they're concerned. And the first thing is to go find them and then investigate what's going on with them. Well, this came out yesterday on Fox News, and I looked it up. It's said by Homan. They have found between 75 and 80,000 of them that are now finding out where they are and are now going out to see the conditions they're in. So the criminal investigations are on.
Why is this not being reported as breaking major news? 75,000 missing children. That's enough to fill up the biggest football stadium in the country. It's like a small town city.
You're going to start seeing arrests and things by next week. Praise God, and to prosecute those for what they did. That's justice. But this will bring down their entire system. Human trafficking, slave labor, same thing. Sex slavery. This is how you bring them down. Here's a clip of it.
Now, the second wave that Tom Homan, the borders are for Trump has told me about, and all of this will focus on those missing children. Hundreds of thousands of them that we know. And that number has started to already come down, Emily, from 300,000. So they've found about 75 to 80,000 of those kids already. If they can get the list of these guys, 4 full days in office for Trump, if they can get the list of where some of those kids have been, and they've been identifying it, since the election, going after them and trying to find those little ones, what in the world was Biden's administration doing? What was Secretary of Homeland Mayorkas doing when he said to the committees on Capitol Hill, we don't know where those kids are, I'll look into it? No, dude, you obviously had a better way to find them, and you didn't do your job. I can't believe they impeached him and didn't remove him.
That is... It's just amazing. It's sad that this has even happened. It's a tragedy. It's sick. It's evil. It's demonic. I could go on and on and on and on and on. Here's more from Stephen Miller.
We've seen, as you know, 500,000 children trafficked over a 4-year period in the United States. This administration is going to investigate every instance of child trafficking, labor trafficking, sex trafficking, child smuggling, and all the attendant crimes involved in that. And our message to everyone in the country is to cooperate fully with Immigration and Customs Enforcement so that we can end the scourge of child trafficking and child abuse that has been endemic these last 4 years.
Now, this is why it's important to get these confirmations in
our country. Senator, I never knew the definition of a disposable child. I never heard that term in my entire career until I was there. A disposable child, the agents kept recognizing a little boy coming over and over. You're familiar with it, I'm sure. Same little boy.
And let me ask, just because my
he had been trafficked.
Let me ask, because my time has expired and the issue you're raising is so incredibly important. One statistic that every American should know is the number 300,000. There are over 300,000 children that this administration has lost. Little girls and little boys who came here unaccompanied were in this administration's custody. They handed them over to adults, many of them not blood relatives, and they don't know where they are. I've never seen a single Democrat in this committee ask one question about the 300,000 children. I want to ask you a commitment. Will you, as Attorney General, investigate and make every effort to find those children, and if they are subject to abuse, get them out of those abusive situations that the federal government has put them into?
Yes, Senator.
Thank you.
That's why it's so important for her to get confirmed. And they'll do everything they can to stop her and Tulsi Gabbard and Mr. Patel, because they know that they would get into it and discover it, uncover it, and prosecute and break up that demonic evil thing. Over 350,000, even more, because there is some Democrats out there asking the question, where are these children? A few. This is the mayor from New York. And then when he did this, they went after him.
We have 500,000 children who had sponsors in this country that we can't find. We can't find them. We don't know if they're doing child labor. We don't know if they're doing sex crimes. We don't know if they're being exploited. 500,000 children. There's a level of hypocrisy that everyone that states they want to protect everyone but innocent individuals who are victims of crimes and children. Support and protect children and innocent people that are victims of crime. And those who don't understand that, it's not up to me to try to convince them. I know what my job is, my goal is, and I was clear of that while running and when I became mayor. 500,000 children, we don't know where they are right now in this country.
Now, God bless him. And like I said, when he took that stance, they went after him. That's a fact. Here's more.
We know they're here. We know there are a lot of them, but we don't know where they are. We have, people that have committed murders and rape. How do you find them? How do you possibly find all of those people?
Well, we're not going to find all of them, and that's just a stone cold fact. But we have ways of finding people. I can't really discuss on law enforcement sensitive our processes. However, the mayor also agreed. Look, he's got a lot of uniforms in the city that know what's going on in their neighborhoods. The New York NYPD has one of the best intelligence apparatuses in the entire world that he's going to help us with. So we're going to count on every uniform in this city to give us information on where these criminals are at. And also, as President Trump is committed, we're going to deputize every U.S. citizen in this country to help us find 340,000 missing children, because we need the public's help on this. Every mom and dad knows what it's like. They have a gut feeling. They see something out there in the public that there's something ain't right with that child. So we're going to deputize every one of them to help us find these children.
Mr. Secretary, how can you credibly claim that HHS is working to protect these children? And by the way, children we're talking about in the order of magnitude of 400 and something thousand children, which you are dismissing that they are lost. Let me ask you a very specific question, Mr. Secretary. Can you account for the whereabouts of those 400 and something thousand children? 320,000 that were put in the report by the Inspector General, the 85,000 that we've talked about before in 2023. Do you know where all of these children are and that they are safe? Yes or no?
As I explained the process, we get these kids when they are referred to us by the Department of Homeland Security. We then provide them with care while they are in our custody. We lose custody of those kids once we find a vetted sponsor with whom they can stay.
Vetted sponsor that rapes and murders the people that they're entrusted to? Because you issue a rule that doesn't even do the background check? That's what you think is appropriate care for these children? I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
So under the Biden administration, oh my God, the missing children are being found. So under the Biden administration, 300,000+ children were missing or trafficked. The Biden administration said they couldn't find them. Mayorkas said he didn't know where they were at, and in 5 days, the Trump administration found up to 80,000 of the 300,000+ missing children. But they didn't give a damn about the 300,000 missing children, but yet Trump in 5 freaking days found 80,000 of them. I don't know if they were trafficked. I don't know if they were just misplaced. I don't know. The point is the Trump administration found them, when the Biden administration said they don't know what they could do. They couldn't find the children. You can hate Trump all you want, but if you don't support this, if you're not excited about this, then there is something wrong with you. Where is AOC? Is she crying now of joy, or is she going to complain about this also? Thank you, President Trump, for putting the children first.
The Trump administration never had a family separation policy. They had a zero tolerance policy, which said that our laws would be followed. What I'm alarmed by is the over 300,000 children that went missing during the Biden administration. And when we talk about children and what they're potentially facing as far as victimization in this country and the trafficking that's going on, this administration's lack of desire to find out where those children are or what they may be going through is alarming to me. So I want to stop that.
Because my time is expiring, I'm just going to interrupt again with apologies to say,
Okay, he interrupted her, but thank God she's the new Homeland Security. This is news that needs to be...
Many of them are in sex rings and all sorts of things going on. It's a terrible thing. They have done such a bad job in this government in terms of everything, foreign relations, border, crime, jobs.
Traffic into this country.
This problem is just so enormous, and the bureaucracy is so complex and hard to fight. Why would you take this job?
I say this many times because of things I've seen in my career. So I grew up in town 2,500. I fast forward. I'm standing back with tractor trailer, 19 dead people at my feet that baked to death in back that tractor trailer, including a 5-year-old little boy who suffocated to death. And on top of him was his father who was trying to protect him. During that investigation, they said that little boy begged his father not to let him die because he wanted to see his mom again. Here's a 5-year-old little boy who knew he was dying and asked his dad for help. And his dad can't help him. I've talked to little girls as young as 9 who were raped multiple times by members of the cartel. Grown men crawled upon this little girl, took everything innocent and pure from her. Her life would never be the same. Look in her eyes, there wasn't life in her eyes. It's just, this little girl's devastated for life. And this happens every day.
We've been to lots of different border places. There's always girls' underwears and bras.
Those are the rape trees. That's a rape tree. Yeah, when they're all hanging on the bushes or the fence or whatever, yeah. And that's...
And this is a government who's, fights on protecting women's rights and girls and stuff, and this is what's going on.
Yeah.
No, we need him in office. We need all these people this week. Tulsi Gabbard. Oh, by the way, after Trump left LA yesterday, it started raining. So turn off a lot of those fires. Synchronicity. No, but we need these people confirmed. Anybody that's against that, you know what they represent. This right here, I was going to do this separately, pareidolia, since I'm into pareidolia. Stop it right there, a little bit, the way just right there. looks like a dog or a wolf. Pareidolia, where things that I cover. God's watching. God is watching. I mean, God's angry because God loves the children. We all need this. Should be breaking news today. 70 to 80,000 missing children were found. Missing children were found. Now we all remember what happened with that movie.
Speaking of children, our future is our children. Now, the first step in eradicating this crime is awareness.